Hey friends, it's Melanie and welcome to today's video. I am super excited because we are up to a little challenge today. One of the things I've been dying to try is quilting, and I don't know why. I was just like, this semester, like, I am bringing my sewing machine to school and I am learning how to quilt, and today is the day. I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys, I have no clue if what I'm trying to do is a little bit too advanced. Maybe it's a good starting place, but when I get an idea and I want to do it, we're gonna do it. So you guys are coming along with me as I try to quilt for the very first time. Let's get started. Okay guys, so here are the deets of what we're gonna be trying to do today. This video is 110% inspired by this brand, Lucky Loves Bags. As you guys probably know, bows are so cute and trendy right now, and I've been slapping a bow on anything I can. Yes, I have way too many tote bags, but I feel like it's a really good beginner project because it's not like clothes and sizing, like it's just, you know, it's a bag. I am gonna try to recreate one of their little bow bags. Like, I want a nice big bow strap. Yeah, I don't have that much fabric here with me because I haven't been able to sew that much, but I do have a lot of different little scraps because I discovered going to garage sales and buying people's fabric, and I went to one lady's garage sale and she was a quilter, and so I picked up a bunch of little patches of fabric. I am 110% using all of these because they're so cute. They're matching. I washed all of them and folded them yesterday to start me off on this craft. I'm gonna use all of these scraps. I think I'm just gonna do plain like squares because I know there's more complex quilting, but I'm most definitely, I never quilted before, so we're just gonna be doing squares for today. I have like an extra bed sheet, like a plain white bed sheet, and I think I'm actually gonna use that for the strap part and like for the lining the inside the bag. So I'm not using it, so like might as well reduce, reuse, recycle, right? Guys, I'm such a liar. I said I was gonna start on my quilting, but it had to wait because I was working on a different craft. I finished this little bag today. It's so cute, but I do want to do like a little bit of prep. I like to separate kind of like steps for my crafts just to make them more digestible, realistic for me to accomplish, if that makes sense. As you guys saw, I have this huge stack of different fabrics and I'm just going to cut them out into squares. I should do some math based on how big I want my bag to be. I literally don't own a ruler, but I should get one. I feel like quilting is literally a science. The plan is to make the outside of the bag part quilted. Then I have this white bed sheet. That's gonna be the lining for like the inside of the bag, and then it's also gonna be the bow strap. And that is that. So I'm gonna get to cutting out my little squares. I just finished cutting out my 32 little squares. It took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. And I don't know if they're perfectly 4 by 4 inches, but hopefully it still works. So it's a new day, and it is actually a very big day because we are taking on the challenge of learning how to quilt, and we are doing this fully from our PJs because it is a cozy day too. I actually wanted to do this yesterday. I was so excited, and then our power was out for like the entire day, so I unfortunately, actually not unfortunately, but I made this instead, you know, because I needed electricity for my sewing machine. But that means we have today to work on our little bag, which I'm just really excited for. We're just gonna start sewing them together. I'm not gonna lie, I don't fully know what I'm doing, but in my head, quilting just makes sense. So I'm hoping this just like works, but I might have to pause and watch a couple tutorials. Anyways, I have 4 inches by 4 inches squares and 4 of each, so 4 by 4. So 16 squares per side of my tote bag, and I'm just gonna be making 2 like big giant squares for the body of it. All right, so I have this all laid out on my bed. Took a lot of time to kind of figure out what like order I wanted these in, because you know, you want like light next to like darker shades so that the contrast looks good, but I'm pretty content with this. I don't have like, I don't even know what it's called, rotary cutter. I don't have like the pizza cutter thing, so I was using scissors. Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me in the butt, but I don't know if they're exactly 4x4. Like some of them look a little wonky, so that might be a problem. I'm not the most precise person sometimes. Also guys, I already cut some really thick, I think it's like 5 inches, maybe even 6 strips, and this is going to be for straps, I guess. That's going to turn into a bow, and then I have, you know, like the rest of it, and I'm going to use this to just line the inside of my tote bag. Okay guys, we're gonna get to sewing. I have my first 4 squares, and I'm just gonna sew one edge of them all together so that I have a little strip. I just hold them like this so that they're kind of like in order and I don't mess up the pattern sequence that I had planned in my head. So taking the first 2 patches, we're obviously gonna put them right side facing inwards, just like this, and then we're gonna sew right along the edge. First square done, so it's gonna go out like this. Might go quicker than I thought because we have our first row done already. Also guys, something I realized, I guess 2 nights ago, is I have this like mini iron, so I was trying to use this to like iron out all my little patches so they'd be nice and like, you know, not crinkly and wrinkly. But this little thing, it takes forever to iron stuff with, so hopefully it'll work with me and my bag turns out okay. So this is my first row. As you see, it does shrink it a little bit, and then it's gonna shrink it a little more when you like sew the columns together, so you have to keep that in mind when you're considering the size of your bag. You lose a lot when you're quilting, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing for all of these. Not to be dramatic, but this is like my dream morning. Crafts, coffee, Taylor Swift, and my PJs. So now that I have my 4 strips, we are going to sew all of these together, and basically by the time we do that, we will have a nice perfect square for each side of our tote bag. Oh my gosh. Okay guys, I think this looks beautiful. I will say some of the corners are not lined up, and that is just like 110% on me for just like not measuring well, but like from afar still looks good, right? Let's finish this up. I have my squares finished. This is the first one. Here is my second one. I'm pretty happy with them, but there is definitely some room for improvement. Next, what we're gonna do is just make the strap. Cut these strips of fabric. I have 4 of them, and I'm just gonna sew very simply along the edges. I'm using like a blue thread that you can kind of see, like I like it when you can see the stitching, you know. I'm just gonna sew along the edges so we have a nice clean edge. I have 2 also because I will be like tying it into a bow at the top. Once I have both of these straps done, then we can start assembling the tote bag, which is so exciting once it starts coming to life, but this might take a little while because these are pretty long. Taking a little floor break. I have my 2 straps. I have a lot of excess fabric on the edges of my straps, so I'm just gonna go ahead and trim all around that. Honestly, this is so satisfying. I love the sound of like snipping fabric. So I have my 2 straps finished, and then with this blue thread, I'm just gonna go around the perimeter of it again, just to give it a nice finished, like stitched look. I'm I'm going to be cutting out the inside lining of my bag right now. I'm like, don't have that much space in my room, so I'm like tucked into this little corner, but we make things work, okay? So I am just gonna take my little 4x4 square and I'm just going to cut it out. I'm gonna leave a little excess room. I have my 2 white lining squares. Okay, I'm gonna be quite honest. When it comes to like assembling with sewing, I always get so confused because I never really properly learned how to do it. But this is the game plan. So we have these 2 quilted sheets, and then I have 2 white pieces of fabric that are gonna line the inside of my tote bag, right? So I think I'm going to sew this to the top to give it a nice edge. Press it, do whatever, and then I'm gonna try to give it the nice quilted like effect. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do like this yet, like squares, or if I'm gonna do diagonal. Diagonal might be a little advanced for me, especially because these are like literally not lined up. So I might just do straight down. That might be better for me. We'll see. I don't know. Hey friends, so it's been a little bit. I took a break after I finished lining the inside of my bag yesterday because I needed to study, but I did make this little patch to add on, and I just wrote handmade with love on it. It's a little bit off-centered. I'm so guilty of doing. I like always do that, but I feel like it makes it kind of like more personalized. Like, yes, this is clearly handmade. I'm gonna sew this patch on now, and then we're gonna start assembling. I'm literally a liar. I actually forgot that I want to finish quilting my fabric before I put the tag on. Like, yes, this is quilted, but I want to add stitching down these rows to really like add to it. I feel like there's probably some terminology for it that I don't know. I know for quilting, people will do like cool squigglies and different designs, but I'm literally a beginner and I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna do straight lines. Let's get on this. As you guys can see, I have my 2 quilted sides to my tote bag. The back looks like, and then I have my patch on my front side. And then once again, I have my 2 straps right here. So what I'm planning on doing is attaching this all together. Of course, placing it inside out like so, and lining it up. Okay, honestly, maybe I'm just confused, but this is what I'm doing. Hopefully it works. I'm gonna sew my bag together around the entire bottom perimeter of it, and then after I do that, I'm gonna add the straps in. Like, it might not look the best that way, but I feel like, whatever. It'll work itself out. So let's sew this together. So I actually decided to do, I don't know what it's called, but like a double seam, I guess, to make it sturdier. So that's why my little bag has shrunken quite a bit, but honestly, if it makes it sturdier, I'm okay with it. Let's turn it inside out for the big reveal. It's kind of nerve-wracking. After this, all I really have to do is add the straps on. I feel like the straps are gonna be so huge because my bag is like tiny now, but at least she's sturdy. I love it. I think it's so cute. It definitely is a lot smaller than I thought it was gonna be. Guys, tying this, like the final bow once I'm finished, is gonna be so satisfying. Let's attach the straps and then we'll be finished with our little 2-day quilted tote bag project. Sometimes I film like this and just hold my tripod when I'm too lazy to like take my camera off the tripod. I think she's pretty much finished. I just attached this, I almost called them sleeves, the straps to my bag. I did it like literally 10 times because I want this to be sturdy so I can actually use it. But I think it's finally time. Okay, I feel like my bow tying skills aren't quite there, but we're gonna try. Guys. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And I'm actually very pleasantly surprised at the same time. Definitely a bit of a statement. I might have to readjust my little bow later, but look at her. Okay guys, well I just wanted to end off my video and thank you so much for learning how to quilt and making this new bag with me. Honestly, this 2-day project I would definitely count as a success and I cannot wait to use this bag. If you have other DIYs or pieces that you think I should try to recreate, I would love to see them because I'm always up to a challenge, and I definitely hope to do more quilting in the future after this experience because I would give it a 10 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for joining and keeping me company on this little journey of learning how to quilt and making this bow tote bag. I will see you guys in my next video or my next crafting video. Bye guys.